Now we're going to talk about how to take notes from the videos that you're going to watch throughout the semester. Now, a lot of times you think, well, I can watch the video over and over and over again, so why should I take notes? And that's a fair point. That's one of the real advantages to this type of method, is that you have the ability to watch the video multiple times. If there's something you don't understand, you can go back and watch it again. You can watch it at a later point in time. So there's a lot of advantages to that. So taking notes needs to change a little bit in terms of how you might do that with regards to the video lectures. So I wanted to show you what I kind of think you should be doing as you watch these videos. And there's a method to the madness in the sense that by taking notes, you're additionally involving other senses of your sensory perception to the material, so that not just watching and taking it in with your eyes and not just hearing it with your ears, but you're also feeling it by writing those pieces and those bits and details down. It's also important because when you come into class and we start doing activities in class that are a result of watching those videos, having a few notes might be important so that you can refer back to them without having to go dig it up on your computer or try to pull it up while you're in class. So it's really important that you do take some notes, and I'm going to talk about how we want to do that. So first, when I talk about in a lecture video things like dates, you're going to want to make sure that you pay attention to those and that perhaps you make a note of those. You want to keep them in context. Not necessarily the specific year is not 100% the most important thing. Although for major discoveries and major events, it's important that you know that the mower was created in 1829 or what have you. But the context and the relationship of that year to other events in that same kind of timeline is really important. And so one of the things that I would encourage you to do as you're watching those videos is to maybe make a timeline. Maybe make a timeline where you lay out, okay, this happened here, and this happened here, and then this happened here, and you put that in order. The other thing that I might talk about in a lecture video is I might ask you a question. And that question is designed to get you to think, to use your head, to think about what those kinds of things that were going around a particular discovery or a particular piece of material. So you want to think about those and then maybe take a few notes about those thoughts and put that into context again. Again, because you're going to want to be able to refer to that information when we're in class and we're having a discussion in class. Another key piece to take notes on, because it's so difficult for all of us to remember names and put all those things together, especially when those names are associated with dates. So if I talk about a person, you want to make sure you take that person's name down and what they did, what that discovery or what that piece of information is about. Just a quick note about who they are and what they were about when it comes to that kind of information that I'm covering. Then definitions. Definitions kind of have two forms or two things, two places or things that I might talk about. The one is a long definition, a definition where I really lay out what this term means and what it's about and all the subtleties of it and so on. That's something that you want to pay really close attention to, that you want to take a careful note about what that is. Another definition that I might talk about is I might bring it up in the course of my discussion with you. I might discuss something and say, oh, well, the mower cut like a pair of scissors, and explain it kind of in layman's terms or colloquial terms rather than a formal definition. That's what I would call an abbreviated definition. And so I might abbreviate that with a picture or an image on the board, or I might talk about it just in our discussion here. If I do that, then that's something that you want to take a note on again, but these are typically not as important as those formal definitions, those longer definitions. So just a quick note to note what it was or how I brought it up, and then move on. So finally, the most important part of all of this in terms of taking notes is that the goal of watching the videos, taking some notes, listening to the videos, and taking all of that in addition to also then going back and reading the text, is that you need to be able to digest this and put this into your own words. The really critical piece of doing the learning that's required in a class like this is being able to take all that information, digest it, put it into your own words, and make it a part of your knowledge base so that when you're talking to somebody at a golf club or a golf course, that you understand when the mower was invented, you understand the industry that you work in, and you understand the major developments and the people that made those major developments throughout time. And so being able to put that into your own words is a really key piece of that learning. And that's what I want you to do when you're watching the videos and taking a few notes.